So I'm curious, what made you decide Tennessee versus all
Yeah, so we're gonna go into a rabbit
the other
hole here.
offers? Okay.
Yeah. So my grades were terrible in high school. Um, First and foremost, start out by that. I was kind of
You weren't a student
I
when it
was an
came
athlete
to
trying.
yeah.
I was that happened to be a student. So things really didn't click for me until my late junior year, my senior year. So um I had no offers, and that's just because of my transcripts were just all the schools were looking at me like he's gonna have to go JUCO. Like we can't, he's not gonna be able to go to university at this point.
Yeah.
So my senior year, in that off season going into it, I went to a South Carolina camp and did really well at South Carolina camp. And going into my senior year, it was the first round of the playoffs, and the D line coach had came to see me play. Offered me right there, but he offered me knowing that he was going to have to send me to a prep school up in Virginia. It was called Fork Union Academy,
Okay.
and Fork Union is a place where I could have just went up there and reclassified and been technically a senior again, and then would have got my
Your
transcript.
grades.
Then I would have been able to go to South Carolina. That was the whole plan for me. I ended up getting all A's, and my D line coach South Carolina leaves and goes to Florida.
Uh,
So he was
yeah.
like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave you alone. South Carolina is a good place for you. I'm going there with my best friend."
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter at that point. I was just like, "Okay, I'm going to South Carolina, whatever." They bring in a new defensive line coach. His name is Deke Adams. Deke Adams came from ECU. So he sends his guys to Georgia military. And what a lot of people don't know, I don't know how it is now, but a lot of
Mhm.
people don't know the difference between Georgia military and which is a JUCO and a prep school is that when you go to a JUCO, you lose eligibility. So when you lose
Right.
eligibility, I had like 5 years to play four, it would have been 4 years to play three.
Mhm.
So I get all A's my senior year. Like I'm locked in. Like I'm locked in. And I end up having a meeting with my new D line coach, and I was excited. I go into the room, just like, yeah, I'm gonna get to show my grades. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna get my well. It was like I'm really in it. This man sits me down and says, "Hey, Kendall, I think the NCAA is gonna red flag you. Your grades GPA is gonna spike too high, or whatever. Some bull crap, right?" So I'm like, he's like, "What we're gonna do, we're gonna still send you to Georgia military for the semester." So I'm like,
Dang.
I kid you not, I literally leave that meeting. I go to my classroom and I
Yeah.
put my head down, and go to sleep. I was like, I'm over it.
Girl, I'm done. I
I'm
give
out.
up.
Yeah, all this work.
Yeah.
Ended up going to Georgia military. I went to their spring game. I signed my national letter of intent to go there. At Milledgeville, Georgia, middle of nowhere, and they're a
Mm.
really good JUCO for football. So I go there, and I had this little flat top at the time, and they were like, "Yeah, we can't wait to cut that off when you get here." And it was just like, "Oh,
Oh, damn.
yeah." So
That's
I
right.
go, yeah, I go back home, sitting in class. Pharaoh's literally sitting next to me. We're in our science class. Remember it like it was yesterday. I get a call head coach to come to the field house. So I go there and he's yelling at me, telling me, he's like, "Man, he's like, you can't play in the All-Star game because you got to go to Georgia military." He's just like, "I got to replace you now." Sorry. So I leave and I see Tennessee had a coach there. His name was Robert Gillespie. He was a running backs coach. And he was our recruiting coordinator for our area. So I leave and Coach Gillespie was like, "Who the hell is that?" They was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, his name is Kendal Vickers. He's going to the Georgia military. He's committed to South Carolina." I guess they told him my story or whatever. And he was just like, I guess they called me back to the field house. I was like, "Man, I'm about to get cussed out again." It's like,
Yeah.
so I come back and Coach Gillespie was pretty much like, "What if I tell you I can get you into Tennessee
Oh,
next
wow.
month?" I was like, and this is May, so like it's time is ticking. I'm like, I'd have to talk to my parents about it, but like
Right.
he's just like, well, he's like, let's figure it out.
Oh, man.
So then probably like an hour later, Florida calls because I guess my coaches call and Coach Lawn, God rest his soul, he calls me and he was like, Kendall, he's like, the reason South Carolina is doing that to you is because they're on probation. They don't have enough scholarships.
Are you?
So I as an 18-year-old kid, 17-year-old, I was 17 at the time. So I was like, I didn't know. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. He was just like, if I was you, he was like, we're going to try to get you into Florida. He was like, if not, Tennessee's a great option for you too. And I literally that week, I ended up going to Tennessee, committed on my birthday, May 23rd, 2013. Committed to Tennessee, and South Carolina's calling me. It's like, Kendall, let's talk. Sorry. I was like, ain't nothing to talk about, bro.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah. So that's how I ended up in Tennessee.
Wow, what a story.
Yep.
That's crazy. Have you ever went on like another podcast to tell your story? That's really interesting.
Nope, never said that. So when I release that, this is going to be like the first time a lot of people hear it.
That's crazy. And to think that I don't know, they seem a little shady doing that to you.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I was like against like how the NCAA moves. I'm against how like the stuff. I used to tell myself all the time, like, it's like I can't get into coaching and just be lying to kids like this. Like this is crazy. If you would have just told me straight up, because I remember beforehand, Coach Long, when he was still at South Carolina, because him and Steve Spurrier came to my house, they were like, he mentioned something about being on probation, but I didn't think of it. I was just going to go reclassify anyway, so I wasn't tripping about it.
You're young too.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have understood that. And that's part of why they do what they do. So kids don't get it.
Exactly. Can you imagine me just busting my ass?
Yeah.
Like getting all A's.
And then just and deflate how much you pushed. That's crazy.
Yeah. So
that's so discouraging. And I bet you're not the only one.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I can't respect people that are gonna just sit there and just like lie.
Yeah,
whether you think it was a lie or not or whatever, like
right. You worked so hard for that and you accomplished it, and then to be told, well, it didn't mean anything because we can't do anything. And
shout out to Coach Gillespie. He's actually the running backs coach at Alabama now. He showed love. He showed love because he could have just been like, okay, cool, and just went on about his business. But he was just like, that
was faith. The fate that he was on that field that day. You were there, and it was his duty and his job to get you. That's a great story.
Yeah. My parents love him. So I can't say anything bad about him.
Right.
And he ended up elevating. He ended up leaving Tennessee. I think he went to North Carolina and was running backs coach there, and then he ended up getting a gig at Alabama. He's always been one of the best running back coaches in college football, and if not the sport of football in itself. So he played Florida. He played running back at Florida himself. So crazy. And he wasn't even there for me. He was there for our running back.
Oh wow! Did he even pick up the running back, or?
Yeah, he did. I ended up recruiting him to Tennessee. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like we were all supposed to go to South Carolina together, but then two of us ended up at Tennessee, and Farrell ended up at South Carolina. It was.
It sucks for South Carolina.
Yeah, I know.
Oh well. Wow.